5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't hear anything in my cans at all.
Weird. Hello, everyone. Apologies. Hang on. Something's not working. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah. So, Carrie's not here, and it's all gone to shit.
Homer!
Hey,
Homer!
Everybody, and I'm turning the fog machine on.
Snot rocket!
Oh, bloody hell. Right, here we are. We're here. Can you guess what happened before we started? Me and Simon got talking. And run out of time, like usual. So hi everyone. So we've had a chat. You can't see it, but we've actually had a change around here. And yes, I am about to go cycling at any moment, as Simon pointed out. How old is this water?
Oh, that's old, man.
That is old, isn't it?
That's been there for weeks.
Yeah, that's not going to happen then. Alrighty. So, yes, evening to you all. It's really weird now that we've got a TV here that we can view on.
Yeah.
I keep looking over
everything.
here and, yeah. We can see everything. Ah, thank you, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
Right. So, we have a new song we haven't done before.
Have we?
Yeah. And we haven't actually sound checked the iPad.
No.
No.
It's still water. Yeah, true enough. Although very stagnant, stinky water. It's been open to the elements.
Right. This is a new one. I've literally learnt this today. Ooh. So we'll probably fuck it right up. I remember, ladies and gentlemen, please either like, share, do all these various things with the stream, anything that pushes it up in the rankings, make us feel loved in all the inappropriate places, if you don't mind. And it's so hot. I had an oscillating fan in my bedroom last night, but freaked out as it looked like a ghost face with two red eyes. Right, let's get that working. There we go. There we go. Hello, Martin.
Hi, Sophie, as well.
Hello, everybody. So Alan's liked the stream, Anthony's liked the stream. Thank you very much, people. Don't forget your fridge. Birdie keeps trying to sit in it. I lent Sophie a little travel freezer. She broke it. Yep.
So now it's just a fridge.
Yep. It's not. It's a fur. It's not even an inch. And I just realised.
How did she break a freezer?
I don't know. You better ask her.
How did you break it, Puppet?
Right. I've got reverb now. I'm happy.
You love a bit of reverb, don't you?
I tell you what, and Matt will appreciate this, because Matt has suffered with this my reverb lust for years.
Yeah, but so many vocalists do, though, don't they?
Yeah,
so many vocalists.
It makes your boring voice sound better.
No, I always think it just it's a crutch. Give me raw vocals without any reverb.
Oh God, no. But yeah, I listened back to some of the old Guardians of Andromeda demos, and you think this reverb's bad.
It's just
Holy shit! Yeah. I'm singing in Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings. Right. Okay. So I need lyrics. I'm gonna get some lyrics, and there they are.
Is it on this one or that one?
It's on this one, I do believe. So I haven't got enough iPads, Simon.
3 iPads short. There.
Is there a volume? It's
It's not that one, is it?
Carrie, where are you?
Right, where do you want? That's got. Oh, fuck off!
We've forgotten how everything works.
I did not break it. I think the fan's gone. I'll pay you for it when I eventually get paid.
What? Ah, right, hang on. This might work. No, it won't. What is going on?
Where is the thing?
I don't know.
Oh dear.
Hang on. Wait. Okay, let's try again. No, it won't load.
Now it's taking forever to load. Other than that, things have been good with you, Mike?
Till now. Right.
You're so stressed out. It's hilarious.
We'll have to inflict a no talking ban on the two of us.
Right.
Right. Some people might say my life is still a rot, but quite happy with what I got. People might say that I should strive for more, but I'm so happy I can see that something's happening here today. The show us straight with your boys brigade. Yeah, I'm so happy and you're so kind. You want more money, of course I don't mind. To my nuclear tanks before atomic crimes, and the public gets what the public wants. But I want nothing this society's got, so I'm going underground. Well, let the brass band play a thing starts to pound. I'm going underground. Well, let the boys all sing and let the boys all shout for tomorrow. Some people might get some pleasure out of hate me. I've enough already on my plate. People might need some attention to relax me. I'm too busy dodging between what you see is what you get. You made your bed, you better lie in it. You choose your teachers and lose your trust. As the lies wash it down and the promises rust. See the kidney machines and played by rocket and guns, and the public gets what the public wants. But I don't get what society wants. I'm going underground. Well, let the brass bands play a beat start to pound. I'm going underground. So let the boys all sing and let the boys all shout for tomorrow. La 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 la. La 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 la. We talk till my head explodes. I turn on the news and my body froze. They're bringing sheep on the TV screen. Make this boy shout, make this boy scream. Going underground. Going underground. Going underground. I'm going underground. You know what? I actually really like that one.
Yeah, it's much better than Town Called Malice.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then Eating Rifles, I think, is as well.
Eating Rifles?
Eating Rifles!
Oh, thank you, Paul. Paul just donated.
Oh,
bless you, dear boy. My night went... Oh, yes, of course, he had his DJ night, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, how did that go?
My night went okay. Next one is the 23rd of June. Also got a hosting. I think I'm missing something, what it says on there.
A big charity event. No, it says there.
Ah, yes.
I've got a big charity event.
I missed it. I've got a TV that's basically about...
As big as the world. And
yeah,
then
and
you
I still can't
missed
read.
out a line.
So, it should be cooler underground. Oh, no, can you imagine being on a... Have you experienced much of the London Underground?
At one point, I used to work in... I worked in Pall Mall for a while, and then I worked in...
Somebody's doing well.
And then just off the Piazza.
Piazza? Ooh! Very well.
Oh, man, I used to I used to hate it. It was just, you'd always be caught under someone's armpit and it just vile.
Stop licking people's armpits then.
I know, maybe I should have tried that.
Would you lick Would you lick a... Oh, okay, I'm trying to think of a... Would you lick Boris Johnson's armpit after a good hard romp with someone else's missus for £1,000?
No.
I definitely would.
Oh.
I could really do with the money.
Oh.
So I'll do anything for £1,000, to be honest.
Actually, everyone's got a price, haven't they?
Yeah. I like the way...
So what price would be that tenner? Let's go up from there. 20 quid. You'd lick his armpit for 20 quid?
To be honest, I'd do it for a Big Mac and fries in hard times.
When was the last time you had a Big Mac? I haven't had a Big Mac in years.
Never long enough. It's one of those things that you smell it as you drive past. Neil! Bloody hell! Neil!
He's back!
It's been so long! How are you, darling? Yeah, Big Mac is, what was it Bill Bailey, Bill Bailey called, petrol garages and all that, cathedrals of despair. He said, for what you buy in. I think McDonald's is basically the cathedral of despair when it comes to food.
But then it's cheap food, isn't it?
It's cheap, horrible food. And all you do when you just... It's like a...
Fuck night shift forever.
Yeah. I think I would equate McDonald's food to a drunken one-night stand. Seemed good at the time, all you get is regret afterwards. And possibly AIDS. No. How do you turn Facebook captions off? I have no idea, but I'm sure what we are saying is far more hilarious with Facebook captions. Kevin! How you doing, Mr. Carpenter?
Hi, Kev. Kevin Carpenter!
We're going to need little theme tunes for every single person on here at some point.
We should definitely do that song on here. I love that. We did it. When did we do it? It was on one of my nights, wasn't it?
Something like that. Exactly like that.
What the fuck is that? Oh, that's that.
It's a very loud smoke machine. Right. So, shall we play another tune?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look, see what we got. Shall we... Oh, we've got Chesney Hawks. Okay, God, this is like an old school recovered gig.
It's in B, isn't it? Can't remember.
It's in about 50 different keys.
Yeah, well, that's Nick Kershaw writing, that is.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all? Let us know what is going on in your world, what's going up, what's going down, what's going fucking sideways.
Heat, mainly.
Heat, yeah.
It's been absolutely blistering. Do you remember that time you came and recorded at my place?
Oh, God.
It's been really hot.
I was basically in my Rip Van Winkle nightshirt and nothing else.
Oh, and poor Josh, he was in the drum room.
Sophie says, I think you've got to do Magic Dance and Sweetheart.
Oh, we are never doing Magic Dance ever again as long as I live.
Yeah.
That's a story to tell you, Sophie, one day.
Yeah. It's for a special someone who is no longer special. Oh, they are, but just in a really horrible, horrible way. Right, okay, let's
Can't
go.
help ourselves. Right.
No. I was going to say you can sew them up, but that doesn't make any sense. No. You can.
Good.
You can, technically. Right, but save my waistliners money I donate you guys as from McDonald's breakfast money. We're glad to help. Yeah, if we can alleviate you of any junk food money that you're going to spend, it will go to a good home, i.e. keeping the lights on and everything in here.
I quite like a McDonald's. I know everyone really... and I know it's not, the greatest...
It tastes of sin, Simon.
Yeah, but I think for the price you pay, you get a hell of a lot, and they do a triple cheeseburger, and I like it.
Does your heart?
No, probably not. I mean, I've got to die
it's
soon.
It's in there going,
I mean, that's why I am so overweight and ugly. But
oh yeah, you are a walking walrus, aren't you? Look at the size of you.
I really put on some weight, but anyway, yeah, I think that's, and also
the only thing that's fat is your cock, son.
I really don't know how to answer that. Anyway, come on.
Huh?
Time to put the woolly knickers away. Does anyone actually have woolly knickers? Could you imagine that?
Have you ever worn any woolly underwear? Has anyone out there ever worn any kind of woolly underwear?
I don't think they make woolly underwear though. Cotton is because it breathes. But I mean, maybe in years gone by they had quite woolly underwear.
God, yeah, bugger that.
Mind you, they didn't have central heating, so during the winter that's probably nice.
Right, okay. Ready, son?
Yep.
I am the one and only. Whoa, yeah! Call me by my name. Call me by my number. You put me through. I'll still be doing it the way I do it. Yeah, you try to make me forget who I really am. Don't tell me I know best. I'm not the same as all the rest. I am the one and only. Nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. I've been a player in the crowd scene, the picture on the big screen. My soul embraces one more in a million faces. Hopes and decorations I did above my station, maybe. With all the time I tried to walk with dignity and pride. I am the one and only. Nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. 'Cause I can't wear this uniform without some compromises. 'Cause then you'll find out that we come in different shapes and sizes. No one can be myself like I can. For this job I'm the best man. And though it may be true, you are the one and only you. I am the one and only. Nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. I am the one and only. Here comes a note he never does live. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. Squee boo 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 hi wee boo.
He's a lovely man.
He's a bit, whenever I see him
His
interviewed.
brother's an incredible drummer, really, really good.
Yeah? Oh, awesome. Yeah, he seems like a lovely, lovely chap.
Yeah, he was.
Did you give him a cuddle?
I did.
Yay! Do you have a celebrity list of people? I haven't got people I really care about meeting. There's just people I want to give a little cuddle to. Bill Bailey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stephen Fry. I think definitely. No? You some homophobe? Oh!
You know, I used to really like him, but I think as he's grown older, he seems to be less fun. I would say Stephen Fry, from the little tiny bits that I know.
That's what life does to you.
Yeah,
Just
true enough.
saps
true
the
enough.
joy out of you.
True enough.
There was a lovely moment. Did you ever see they did a documentary about Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie? And it was all about,
Now,
the
Hugh
Jeeves.
Laurie.
Yeah, he's amazing. But they did all about, Jeeves and Worcester and Little Bit Fry and Laurie and everything. And there was this wonderful moment where they hadn't seen each other for a while. And Hugh was pulling up in the car. And when he pulls up and sees him, just this...
The genuine joy.
just that kind of...
Yeah.
It was just like, my heart melted at that point. Just like, love them both. Right, cheesy squawks. Absolutely.
Travelodge triple burgers are fabulous, which really surprised me. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen. I hate anyone who can get away with eating that food now because my cholesterol's borderline.
How can it be, though? You don't eat any meat.
Huh?
I wouldn't have thought you would have high cholesterol.
I
I wouldn't
like
have thought you had
chocolate.
any cholesterol at all.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
nothing of you. If you had no cholesterol, there'd be no you.
Old Voldemort here. Do you know who Voldemort is?
No, but I'm taking it he must be a bone with arms. So
Basically. For all you muggles out there, yeah. Do you know what that is?
Muggles are idiots, aren't they? I
No.
thought they were in... I just thought you called every... No, so I thought in Harry Potter, Muggles were like the uninitiated.
No. Okay, here's a little Potter lesson for you.
Come on, give me some
Muggles
Potsies.
are the wizarding world's name for normal human being folk.
All right.
Non-magic folk.
So wouldn't they be
While
the...
mudblood is a slur. That's nasty. Yeah, your blood is bad. You're not
mud.
pure blood. It's very kind of Hitlerian. Right, we'll do another one, and then we're going to have our little chat subject. The chat subject may go on a little while, because this is quite a doozy when we started talking about it. Right.
Next week, can we talk about Nazca Lions? I want to talk about that.
Who, what?
The Nazca... Do you know about the Nazca Lions?
Nazca Lions.
It sounds like a American football team.
Yeah.
No, Nazca Lines.
Nazca Lines.
Nazca
Nazca
Lines.
Lines. Nazca Lines.
Yeah.
What are they?
Next week. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about it next week.
Okay. Muggles equals non-magic folk. Absolutely. Right, let's go for...
How is Birdie?
Still alive?
Go Nazca Lions. Go Nazca Lions.
Mudblood equals half muggle, half witch wizard. Yeah, so not a true blood.
True blood.
True blood. Whole different series.
Yeah, blood.
Basically just vampire porn. Right, should we go for Gary Newman?
Yeah.
Okay.
As always, we're really bad.
Is he quite a nice guy as well, Gary Newman? He seems...
I've never met him.
Okay.
I've never met him. But
You've met everyone, Simon, don't lie.
the lady he married went to the school I went to.
What, Mrs. Newman?
Yeah, Mrs. Newman. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You have to let me know when I come in. Let me know when I come in. Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors. It's the only way to live in cars. Here in my car, I can only receive. I can listen to you. Keeps me stable for days in cars. I got your ticket down. Will you visit me, please? If I open my doors in cars. Here in my car, I know I've started to think about leaving tonight, though nothing seems right in cars. Brum, brum. synchronised head movements go. Art married one of his fans. I'm done, aren't I? Sorry, I went all Lars Ulrich.
You've got to stand up at some point.
Just walk around. I don't know what key you're in. It would have been exactly the same. Simon has this,
I have a habit of giving you the guitar right at the end of the song.
and that's exactly where I like it to be. So I could just hold it for you and go, thank you. Right, where are we? Here we are. Right. Time for a chat subject, I think.
Hi TL, hi Lorraine.
Anthony says, extra one for bonus points. Squib equals someone born of a wizard family, but with no magical powers. Absolutely true. Jim, that was forward thinking of Gary Newman. Cars and our friends electric cars. Gary, he was at the forefront of it all.
He was.
Very animated music for comedians. Good evening, guys. Great song. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, TL.
Squib. So,
Yes.
a squib is an explosion that they use with stunts.
Yeah, isn't it? Didn't they used to call them as well? You know, the little firecracker things that you fly on the floor.
Yeah. Just basically
Little pop. They don't go.
Yeah, no.
That's more of a pulling fluff out your belly button.
Don't. I'm omphallophobic.
Wiggle it around.
Oh, don't. Right, go.
Right, chat subject. Let's do this shit. Here we go. Right. Hello, everyone. Just out of curiosity, that animation, did you hear sound? Did it go... I hope it did, because if not, that means nothing, what we've just done.
We appear to be more insane than we normally are.
Okay, the subject is... It did. Cool. Right, the subject is...
Is technology showing our true nature?
That's really great, isn't it? You asked a question and everyone was kind enough to go, yeah, awesome, yes, yes.
Yeah, yes. See, they're just in tune, even though they haven't received this bit yet. Right.
That's literally the most participation
I
we've
know.
ever had since we started.
Hello, Mark, darling.
Hi,
How are you doing, buddy? So, we're not going to set a timer on this one because we are definitely going to just outpace the
Right,
clock.
so let's go.
Right, so my question is, with technology the way it is today, and the kind of way it helps us, I suppose, shortcut certain aspects of life, is it either turning us into something we are not, or is it just turning us into the things that are most convenient and almost a more true reflection of
Right,
ourselves.
I think there your preface has made it far more complicated than it needs to be. Right,
Okay.
so start again, right? So has technology...
Right. Is the use of technology, like mobile phones, the internet and everything,
Yeah.
is it changing us into something we are naturally not, or is it allowing us to be something more that we naturally are?
So what's your opinions, first of all? What do you think?
Right.
How do you take that? Not just you, I'm saying to the people who...
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, do you think that technology, the use of it, is turning us into things that naturally we are not? You know, the way we...
So can you give an example of that, for instance?
Right, for example, before mobile phones and everything were invented, and texting and social media, you know, people would naturally meet up, they would have to exchange, you know, if it was actually calling each other. Now that we have the ability to text and use, say, messaging and things along those lines, if the whole idea of like community and face-to-face interactions was something that was more naturally prominent to our genetic makeup, why are we choosing the other option?
So collected evidence shows that people would prefer to text than call nowadays, especially younger generations. Older generations that are used to calling they find that the technology is actually more taxing and less communicative, so they prefer to explain themselves properly through a phone call, whereas younger generations find that they can get to the nub of the question that they actually need to, and don't have the stress of effectively a face-to-face. I'm trying to remember how the paper actually described it, but it wasn't a face-to-face.
Thank you, Alex.
Communication.
Thank you indeed.
That's a great name, isn't it?
Alex Rasmus Holm. That's
dead cool.
Killer of a name.
Yeah. So younger generations much prefer to communicate via text and type because there's a barrier between that immediacy, whereas older generations prefer the wider possibilities of explaining via the phone or whatever.
Yeah. So Paul says, yes, can you remember your phone number? I can't. Mobile has it. Years ago, before mobiles, you had to remember your number. We're evolving constantly, in my opinion. It could just be a forward evolution. Jim says, I'm old and I don't have any problem with technology. So that's the interesting thing, though. So if technology has allowed us to, sort of, like you've just said, circumvent unnecessary interactions and sort of scaling them down to... Because we've talked about before, haven't we, that human beings generally will choose the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So therefore...
That's human nature.
Yeah. So therefore...
Economy of motion.
Yeah, and I think I spoke to you the other day about this, that apparently that they're finding that more men are choosing not to get into relationships and are choosing more to look at things like pornography and, you know, OnlyFans and things like that. So in my mind, the idea of the, you know, men have always been very interested in, I suppose it's said genetically, isn't it, the men were sort of more, what's the word? Not proactive when it comes to sex, promiscuous, as they need to like sow their seed and.
So that's the present way of thinking with I was going to say paleontology, but it's not that. With anthropology, is that men in very, very typical and wide terms wanted to sow their genetic seed wider, and that women were more nesting in nature.
Yeah.
But recent evidence says slightly differently. So younger generations, so you have a lot of incels now that's becoming a more of a thing. And research into that area is still very much ongoing, and it's quite in its infancy. But early research seems to show that young men, young boys are finding it harder to be able to talk and relate to women, and that's making them more and more isolated. So that means that they don't have as many relationships or can explore that.
Yeah, there's some interesting points coming up. I think I'm going to have to swap our screens so that we can... Hang on, where is our... I'm going to move this screen over to this side. so that we can actually scroll back up, because there's a lot of good comments coming in here.
Right.
And even with a big TV, it's still a bit of a squeeze to read. So we've had TL says it's nature for us to. You have to read that sign.
Yeah, it's nature for us to create. Technology is because we evolved to invent shit. It's always part of our nature. So it's not so much about the inventing we're all like science and technology has gone up exponentially since kind of the 60s, going back even kind of millennia. So that's been unprecedented. But it's more the question you're asking is it bringing out our inner nature, or is it changing our inner nature
to something that we're unnatural?
Yeah, to a more abstract. Yeah,
yeah. From our, I suppose, core being of what because we know that human being, as you said, that there's kind of our primordial urges, wants, needs.
Yeah, primitive brain functionality.
And there was because my point about men choosing to be getting less into relationships. Now, is that the reason because they don't have to...
But that's what I was saying, the evidence is slightly different.
Sorry, one moment. Simon, can you just carry on a second?
Right, okay. So Lorraine said people are losing the art of enjoyment of one-to-one conversation because of technology. That's definitely borne out by the evidence. Martin says, I feel tech is moving us apart and making us isolated. The amount of people I see at my restaurant that would rather look at the phone than talk to family and friends. That's something I've seen so much as well, Martin. Then talk to family and friends. Whole family's just empty voids. It's so true. That's just more and more that's happening.
Sorry, ladies and gents, as you know, my mum's currently got a broken arm and she's just got basically trying to get her dress off to get into the shower and she's got stuck.
Oh, right. Do you need to go?
Yes. Do you want to, while I'm away, do you want to play a song and sing just while I cover time? We can carry on the conversation when we get back?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, so apologies, ladies and gents, but as you know...
Right, what shall I do? I'll do this.
Okay. I will be back in a moment.
Okay.
And Matt, don't come around and help my mum take her dress off. I know what you're like.
You know I love you. You know it's true. Give you all my love, babe. What more can I do? Walking by myself, I hope you'll understand. I just want to be your loving man. Yes, I love you. Yes, I love you with my heart and soul. Wanna mistreat you for my waiting goal. You know I love you. You know it's true. Give you all my love, babe. What's more can I do? I'm walking by myself. I hope you'll understand. I just want to be your loving man. that's that. Mike's still gone. Let's go back to this. So let me see if I can find the mouse to move this stuff. Right. Is that going to move? Right, I found the right. So Martin was saying about the as soon as people sit down. Is your mum okay?
Yep, yeah. She's fine.
As soon as people sit down, they're straight on their phones. We see that at gigs as well. As soon as it hits half time, everyone's straight out their phones and, not talking as well.
But this is something that I've noticed, and I said this to you the other day, is that when I've been in hospital waiting rooms and you've had people probably kind of from maybe the age of 50 below are all on their phones, and people sort of, in their 70s, 80s, are all kind of sitting around and they're making small talk, and the talk is kind of along the lines of, I've got that picture, that one there, and other people go, oh, have you? Yes, I did. My daughter bought it for me. It's that kind of conversation. Now, are they making the conversation just to fill avoid? And when people are using their phones, they're actually, because if they're looking, and when people say this, I think people kind of like, well, if it was me, I'd be talking to everybody in the world because I'm amazing, But it's.
Do people say that though?
Yeah, I've had people go, I wouldn't do that. I'd be talking. People immediately get defensive about human nature, but I find it's like, well, because if the people on the phone are looking at whether it's things that just titillate them a little bit, or they might be reading something they're interested in. It's like people who read books. When they're on the tube, they're not making conversation with everybody. So is it just the fact of that if you've got the option of making small talk with a complete stranger about a picture, or you've got a choice to look at something, again, you're choosing something that's more appealing to you?
Or is it convenience?
Again, does that then tie into the fact, because there was something that you said the other day about, that I don't know how many of you know that when it came to sort of the race of humankind, where you had your Neanderthals, and it wasn't Cro-Magnon man, Cro-Magnon man, and like Neanderthal and Homo sapiens and everything.
Yeah. So Cro-Magnon's a bit before. I can't remember what the one is that's just before Homo sapiens. But yeah, the thing that made Homo sapiens Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens.
Used to live in bins.
With symbols, Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens do so well and outdo all the other previous incarnations, was that they were able to work in community, whereas Neanderthals were very just immediate family or were loners, and because they could hunt, Homo sapiens could hunt in packs.
I'm sure you just said homosexuals can hunt in packs.
Well, maybe they can. That made them proliferate. That gave them far more food. It gave them far better child rearing, safer environment, and helped them proliferate. So, getting back to this. So, just trying to say some of the comments here. So, yeah, Lorraine said about losing the art of one-to-one conversation. Very much so, I'd say. I feel tech is moving us apart and making us more isolated. The amount of people I see, the restaurant, we've done that. Yeah. It can be beneficial, but it can make us lazy. Basically, the lazy ones will always be lazy with or without technology.
But again, is that our natural state?
So, Jim, I'd kind of slightly disagree with that, because I think it's human nature to always fight, and also it's also a thing that's helped humans proliferate so much. Being able to use tools, otherwise we would still not use tools. When farming, people wouldn't have used beasts of burden, they would have been tilling the land themselves. So it's all those things that made, again, it's something called economy of motion, being able to get the maximum from doing the least amount. So that's part of human nature, I would say.
If you were given, for example, if technology allowed you to make £1,000 a minute by doing absolutely nothing, or you could go out and work in a field for £10 an hour. Yeah. What would you choose?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would choose what is it, and that's why
it's the maximum amount of output for the least amount of input. Yeah. So that's always going to be the thing. And technology, its main purpose is to make, like, you talk about AI, you talk about even the iPads and stuff like that. We're able to do this show, just the two of us, with stuff on track. Otherwise, we'd we wouldn't be able to do that. So Jim said that. Homer said, I read that millennials prefer text, but Gen Z prefer to communicate with images as attention spans are getting shorter and their preferences for video images rather than text. That's very interesting.
I've noticed this a lot with students as well. People really find the idea of actually investing in anything long term, where you have to actually work for something.
Also, as well, like the trend that's been seen, definitely in the media, but on things like YouTube and stuff like that, is the idea of the hack, the quickest way to get to the result you're after. And people, when it comes, especially like you're talking about tutoring and stuff like that, trying to learn an instrument, that it does take repetitive, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until you consolidate it, and then it grows. And people are always trying to find the quickest way to get to.
Paul says it's like concerts and gigs. People watch through a phone. Yeah,
that is just the weirdest thing for me. So we did a gig on, when was it? Saturday. We were gigging.
It was Saturday.
And I was on drums with Mike, and
we weren't both on. He wasn't sitting on my lap.
That came later. There was some people in front, and through the whole gig they were just watching like this, filming it on their phone, and doing lots of selfies as well, of doing selfies of them singing along with the songs. And I was saying to Mike, what are the chances that they're ever going to look back on that stuff? Because
it's just all it is for an upload. It's just to.
I also think as well that this has become, again, like humans, we have this. So you'll see this a lot with young girls and women now. When they laugh, they cover their mouth. Like that.
Where are you living in? Sort of, Mr. Darcy.
Well, you see, it started around that time, the Victorian era, because people had such bad teeth. But that's become a thing now. If you watch TV and there's young people, when they laugh, they will do that. If at gigs, I see young girls doing that.
Really?
Yeah, younger people do. Women especially. You don't see it really with men.
God, mate.
And they cover their mouths as they laugh. Or there's that thing as well when they get. What does that mean? It's a learnt attribute. It's an learnt action.
If you go out in Culture Store on a Friday or Saturday night, women are not covering their mouths. It's more, you fucking what?
Yeah, but that's when they're drunk and angry. Tell them a joke and they'll cover their mouths.
Really?
Right.
No, they just show their mouths in scorn at me. They just go...
I'm a culprit, but I upload to my YouTube channel all the bands I watch.
Yeah, now that's interesting. Now...
Why?
Now everyone will have a different reason. A lot of people and this one of the things, I know a lot of people won't admit to this, but we all do it. Whenever we upload something to any form of social media, we are doing it because we want other people to see it and interact with it. We want people to take notice. If we didn't, we wouldn't upload it. And people can go, I just do it for me, I do it. Well, if you did it for you, then the actual thing being on your phone, like a memory or a photograph, would be enough.
Yeah.
So, but we do it because we want a certain response, whatever it is.
I think people very much use their Facebook thing to show, look at the life I'm leading, or if they're going through a hard time, it's because it encourages sympathy. So, and that again, that's very much a human nature thing. So we've done that.
So yeah, Paul, what is your reason for? And say we are absolutely not judging. We are all guilty of why we do the things we do. We all have needs. We all, Simon goes out and plays music for personal, selfish reasons. Same as I do, selfish reasons.
Very much.
Yeah, we get something out of doing it. It's for us. We don't play music for the rest of the world. We do it because we enjoy it and we get something and we get money.
So Neil's written here, I don't quite understand this. Are you defining technology as just mobile phones, social media, etc., or the broader term of development? Oh, I see what you mean. How things are built and made. The latter could go back to the Stone Age. Well, that's what I was saying to Mike, actually. That every age, so if you look at the Industrial Revolution or the Agriculture Revolution, that was all technology that changed the way that people lived and how they adapted to these new technologies as well, but definitely in the last sort of 50 years or more, it has been electronics that has massively changed things.
Homer says, I think that people say things online which they would never choose to say to somebody's face. Yeah, unfortunately, having that...
You read the comments on YouTube videos and stuff like that,
Yeah, there is no comeback. There is no taking responsibility for your actions. When you have that separation, you can basically...
That distance,
be anonymous. But I think do you think you get to see the real nature of people when they come out with those kind of things? Because one of the things that stops us from pure anarchy is repercussions, isn't it?
Well, so just in a broader sense, the only thing that stops humans doing anything is a deterrent.
Deterrent, that's a better word.
That's the only thing that stops people doing. Otherwise, people, if there was no deterrent to killing people, anyone who got on your nerves, you'd go, that's it. I'm going to just kill that person. So it's only, obviously that's an extreme example, but that's the only thing. So as there's no deterrent to stop people being able to do that, if the urge is there, then you will
so you're more likely to see, I suppose, a person's true nature if they are bitter and angry and nasty.
They want to cause pain.
Yeah.
Teal said, we have folks in Alaska that live isolated. Would you say tech has them more connected? Marty.
So we suddenly turned into Back to the Future. Marty? And we have.
Would you say tech has them more connected? Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I think there is also an element as well that.
But then that's the same when people first got radio in sort of isolated places, and then they could communicate, call for help, or whatever the case is. So
I think as Paul's I'm skipping down a bit, but Paul was just
technology has helped Mike's mum have a shower. Very good.
Very true. We're just waiting for the technology to help her to be able to get the dress over her bandage at the moment. But Paul says some technology is fantastic. Absolutely. I know a lot of people, for example, will criticise social media and mobile phones and everything. But if you think of the ability of bringing people together, the doors it's opened, how many lives has the mobile phone saved by people having a portable phone in their pocket that they can ring for help? So there's those elements.
But then that's all technology. So you would be saying about the advances in medical science and everything, and any, the Industrial Revolution, people having, I remember when they first brought in the big weaving things and stuff like that, and they used to have kids going in grabbing anything that was catching and stuff, and they were being killed. And then the next phase of that stopped these children dying and stuff. So that's just the thing of technology. So technology is always trying to make life easier or trying to make it safer or better, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the positives of those kind of technologies. Yeah. But also there's things, for example, people who, as TL just hinted at, like, for example, one of the saddest things about, for example, getting older is losing touch with people, becoming more reclusive. When you've got a generation who are a bit more computer literate, you've now got people like, Zoom calling their grandmothers. It's helping people. People can feel part of a community, even if they're not necessarily seeing them face to face. If they can't get out of the house, disabled people. It's allowed people to feel more connected. Absolutely.
So there was one here that says, Jim was saying, I live on my own. I find Facebook Lifeline, keep in touch with friends, get all band info, and friends that I can't get to now, as I don't drive anymore. So very much that.
Yeah.
Very much that. And also, Paul's kind of echoed that same thing as well.
Yeah, Homer says, when something is invented, the first thing they do is try to see if that has any military capability.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Does that show... I did hear a story, and this is a quick AI one, but they were practicing war games with an AI that was...
is this the one I told you last?
Was it?
Last Tuesday.
Oh, did you tell us it?
Yeah. So
where it actually ended up...
Yeah, killing the people in the tower. So it was a war game, and it targeted the people in the tower that were giving it instructions because it felt that it was holding that. And then 2 hours later, he was I'm sure he wasn't a general. He wasn't a general, but he was a corporal lieutenant or something. He was quite high up.
Said it never happened.
Yeah, and so he'd come out and said this is what happened, and then literally it was 3 hours later he had to retract it and said no, it was greatly mistaken. It never happened, and whatever else.
I'm truly sorry for the way I acted, blah, blah, blah. It's a learning time for all of us, etc. Phone any day, strangers are strange. Yep, absolutely. Neil says, I was on holiday a few weeks ago and the amount of push chairs at the end of tables with iPads, what was that? Propped up as electronic babysitters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, for parents, that's been a massive help, though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and some people would see that as a negative, but when you've got screaming babies and you're tired and whatever else, you're going to see that as a real bonus. It's the same thing that people used to say, kids brought up by the telly before. And then
that is very true, isn't it? What is
Yeah.
the difference between being brought up, sat in front watching kids' cartoons?
I remember in kind of I think it was kind of early 90s, mid-90s, there was a massive backlash against that. Children need to be given a certain amount of time in front of the telly because it's destroying their learning process and all the rest of it. And then later it was shown it was actually helping them with language skills and things like that. But then it all depends what you're watching, though, as well.
And I know when they talk about the amount of time, and again, this is another one that when you initially hear about kids, how long they spend on computer games. And then I look back to my childhood, and it's when I got into computer games. I was playing them every night with my friends. It is just a kind of, I think, again, it's the rose-tinted glasses effect, isn't it? We look back, it wasn't like that back in my day. And it's like, it kind of was.
Yeah, but, in kind of, so it would have been kind of early 80s, late 70s maybe, when you had the first kind of home computers.
Speaking of computers, VAG Restorations, there he is, there's my boy Stu. How you doing, sir? Stu is one of my gaming buddies.
Oh, right.
And a very, very talented man, builds computers, is into all sorts of wonderful geekery like myself.
But you see, yeah, exactly, those first things, the Commodore 64s and the Spectrums and stuff like that, they were the Ataris, and I mean even Pong, do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were...
Do you like that?
Boop. No, I hated that. It was incredible. What an impression.
Yeah.
That really
put him on Channel 4.
That really absorbed kids, and that was a massive step forward. And it did change children, because where they used to go out and play and whatever, ball in a cup, and hoop and
Poo
a
on
stick.
a stick.
Yeah. It was, that then kids were like, let's finish our homework and my mate's coming over and we're going to play Pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, for ages.
Yep. Jib says, hang on, where were we?
Are we any better?
Are we any better time? Humans are still a parasitic race, like locusts, use it up and then...
Well, yeah, people describe humans as a cancer on the earth.
Agree.
There's so many actually, I think it was, I was going to say Josh Rogan, but that's not his name, is it?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. I think he quoted that once, and I kind of think that's a fair comment.
Watch through a phone, we're watching you, and we're all communicating via messages.
Yeah.
True. And again, I mean, in this instance, there's no, unless you all came around my house, and believe me, you think it's warm in here now, then it would be very, very intimate. But again, it's just an evolution in, it does, so I think it's part of one, part of the other. It's evolving us to be more, I think naturally maybe we are a bit more reclusive. We're not as social as we...
So a load of people are saying here, I video bands and I watch it back from time, I upload drawings, it's for my pages and stuff and videos. So, hi, Kenny. Nice to see you.
Hey!
So all those things, I see that as all quite normal, but what we're talking about is more the nature of technology in certain areas. Is it changing people? So like you were saying, so for instance...
our reclusive, if it's making us more reclusive and, say, choosing the path of least resistance, is that more of our natural state? Because if we had the choice of either... If it wasn't our choice, then people wouldn't be doing that in droves. That's what I mean. If it was our natural inclination to meet up in a sociable scenario, face to face, that's what we had the natural urge to do. Then we'd be doing it. Then we'd be doing it. But if we're choosing to stay at home in the comfort of our own chairs, and but as a something against that, boop, pew, pew, pew,
For instance, there's been a great rise in.
I'll show you a great rise in a minute.
In more violent kind of porn, and that is, and there's there's loads of research and papers that are demonstrating that more and more young people feel that that's normal sex now.
Yeah.
There's been a proliferation. There's been a proliferation in people wanting to be choked or choking their partners, sorry if this is a bit unpleasant. And anal sex as well is a massive proliferation in that people feel that that's what the done thing is now. So is that again just influence, a taught influence, as opposed to human nature?
Yeah, see, I find porn had a different effect on me. It made me realise that I should be in Germany in period dress with an umpire band playing behind me.
So getting back to things that make sense. No, but is that...
I can't even remember the name of the film, but it was fucking brilliant.
Well, okay. Adaptation is what evolution is. Yeah, absolutely. We evolve differently, but it's all natural for us. Yeah, absolutely. Paul's asking Kenny how he's doing. Tech has also led to the dumbing down of society. Very much so. Very. There's a great film by Mike Judd called Idiocracy.
Ah, yes.
That's a fantastic film. That really explains it. All started when Talking Bone. Have I read that right?
It's all my talk of German porn.
Maybe.
Josephine Muschenbacher. That's the film. It's hilarious.
Josephine Muschenbacher.
Sounds like Muschenbacher.
Okay, great.
Yep. Check it
out. Too many people have their faces stuck in their phones rather than building meaningful relationships.
Again, or is that the progression?
Is that
people
human
want
nature?
meaningful relationships?
Yeah.
Because again, if that was our natural inclination, wouldn't that override the feeling of...
Yeah, wouldn't you be gagging for meaningful relationships? But if you have... Or is it that it's too hard to achieve that, so it's better to have your
But
phone
that is an interesting point, though, and
really is, yeah.
Because something that I noticed during lockdown, which kind of gave me a little bit hope for kind of face-to-face communication, people really talked about how they missed going out and seeing people. So when that choice was taken away, and people were basically said, you have to stay in your home, you are not allowed to go out and socialise, people craved it.
Yeah, but then you see, whenever you watch babies, you see a human nature in its rawest form. And that thing of, if you take a toy away from a baby, that's the toy they want most. Or if you've got two babies playing together and one kid's playing with something, the other kid immediately wants to have that's very much a human nature.
I suppose, then if you give
trait.
it choice, if it naturally goes to one, then that is the one it's choosing.
Or it depends if that's weighted, in that it thinks that that's the more desirable thing.
If you give a baby a really heavy toy, weighted.
Oh, motherfucker.
Hang on, there's got to be a shit animation for that. Hang on.
No! Fuck off!
There we go.
Now do Pac-Man impressions. So Lorraine said, my grandson has an American accent from the one-eyed babysitter on the wall. I just got that.
Dear.
That's very funny. But we can't go out as much because of knife-wielding nutters around.
Yes, there's a fair amount of those.
Talking Bone, Cat Weasel. Look it up.
Oh, okay, we will do. Right, our time is... Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in on that. That was really good.
There's a lot more we could talk about that, but...
Yeah, so, but no, that's one of the reasons we like doing these things, is because you guys...
Then the nutters win if you're too scared. You could get run over by a bus. Chances of getting stabbed is slim.
I adopt a stance of pick your battles. So, for example, if there's a gang of 20 youths down the end of my road, all pissed up in the mood for a fight, me going out there and going, hey, you hooligans, have a thee, ask for fisticuffs, I'll be dead. What does that achieve?
If you said fisticuffs, then effectively you're asking them for a fight, aren't you? So it's your own fucking fault.
Yeah, but if I go out and challenge them, I've had this, because where we live at the end of the road, and my mum on occasions going, I'm going to go out and give them what for, and I'm like, Mum, it's not like the old days where a lady would come out and shake a fucking roller at them and, with all the curlers in her hair, and they'd all go, "Ooh," and run off and laugh. It's now, okay, they'll just turn you around and stab you. So it's, if you want to put your life on the line, with the chance of you being really, really hurt, it's your choice. But I say,
I understand both those points of view.
You shouldn't let bullies bully you, but if the bully is armed to the teeth and willing to stab you, just run like fuck. Basically. Or call the police. Or run like fuck into a police station.
Yeah.
So,
No, but so many police stations are closed now, aren't
yeah. Okay, run like fuck into the door of the police station and then get stabbed when you fall back out of it.
Right, what do you want to do?
Right, we are going to finish tonight with Foo Fighters.
Yeah, if you want.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for joining in, everyone. It's
Yes.
really interesting always hearing people.
We love having chats with you guys. It's awesome.
Getting stabbed is not fun, especially when you're bending over to pick up the soap.
Well, come on.
Come on now.
It's only gay if you push back.
We'll use tech to call them. Yep, true
There
enough.
we go. Right. Let's see if I come in at the right point on this.
Probably not.
I forgot to turn that off, but I'll leave it there. All my life I've been searching for something never comes, never leads to nothing satisfies, but I'm getting closer to the prize at the end of the road. All night long I dream of the day when it comes around and it's taken away. Leaves me with the feeling that I feel the most. Feeling come to life when I see your ghost. It's such a delicate wrist, and if I give it a twist, something to hold till I lose my breath. Will I find something in there to give it just what it needs? Another reason to bleed. One by one, hitting up my sleeve. One by one, hitting up my sleeve. Hey, don't let it go to waste. I love it, but I hate that taste. Drop the soap, I got nothing to hide. Say, don't let it go to waste. I love it, but I hate that taste. Way keeping me down. Hey, don't let it go to waste. I love it, but I hate that taste. Way keeping me down. I can't remember when this comes in. I'm hoping now.
Yeah.
Our TV's going to turn itself off in a second. All my life I've been searching for something never comes, never leads to nothing satisfies, but I'm getting closer to the prize at the end of the road. All night long I dream of the day when it comes around and it's taken away. Leaves me with a feeling that I feel the most. Feeling come alive when I see our goals. Now I'm done, on to the next one, done, on to the next one, done, on to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next one, done. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, Stu is a dwarfer as well as Mark is a dwarfer. Are you a red dwarfer?
Yes.
Absolutely. By the way, someone sent on our little chat group that someone's 3D printed the little, was it Space Bug? Is it the little green?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've asked them to print me one.
Oh, that's so cool.
Have you got a 3D? You should buy a 3D printer.
I'd love to. But I've got money to spend on other things, so...
More guitars? Yeah.
Actually, I haven't bought a guitar in ages. How dare you?
Hang on a minute. Where is it?
Bullshit, Mr. Handman.
Starbug. That's the one. Starbug. Yes. What did I say? Did I say Space Bug or something?
Space Bug, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, I need to rewatch. It's been a while. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a few thank yous to say to you all. Here we go. I need to... Hang on a minute. I need to remove that thing because that's really annoying me. So, apologies, it's going to do this. Yeah, sorry, I'd forgotten to press that earlier. So, here we go. There, that's better. So, massive thanks to Phil, Alex, Mark, Kevin, Neil. Big thanks to Paul. Thank you so much, dude, for your donation. Really, really appreciate it. To Jim, Anthony as well, and to all the people previously. Much love to you all. Boys from the Dwarf. Not Chen. Yes. Yes, Chen. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. Wait, are you telling me everybody's dead?
Dwayne, damn
Classic. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. All the best. Much love to you all. And thank you, Simon, as always.
Thank you, Michael.
Pleasure.
Have a great week, everybody. Be kind to everyone you meet.
Except arseholes. Just kick them in the fanny.
Boys.
Or cock. Whatever they're sporting at the moment these days. With technology, who knows?
Shit happens.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye now.
Night, night.